Hey there guys, I'm making this video to show you my experience with Inflatable-Zone and their Zorb Balls. Once you look closer, these are tear aid patches on these random little holes that just pop up during the packing process. As you can see, they're just kind of all over the place. I think I've shown you at least 10 of them right now. There's more over on this side. They're just all around. I probably don't even have time to sit in this one and show you every single one of them. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull myself out. This is one of the 3 balls that I've been using. This particular ball was the first one that the ropes started detaching. Whenever I say rope detaching, I mean like that. Just comes off of either the inner part or the outer part. And somewhere on this big guy, you can see that the air is going way down on this one. It's because the rope detaching is a little more significant than what they would like for you to believe. If I can find that hole real quick. Be more than happy to show you what I'm talking about. There's a couple more ropes, 2 of them dangling. I was once told that that wasn't a big deal. Just go ahead and keep using them. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you what happens to them whenever you keep using them and they're like that. If I can find that. Oh, here we go. So this big monstrosity of a hole, it's got air coming out. I think you can see the hole inside of there. It's pretty huge. That was from these ropes coming apart. You can still see the rope attached to it, but what it caused it to do is break the seal and then eventually made this big old thing right here. So ropes coming apart, not a good thing. Wouldn't suggest using them anymore if it happens to you. So literally just inflated that right before I started making this video. That's where this ball is at compared to this one right here, or this one right here. I actually inflated these 2 balls directly before I started inflating that one. Now this other ball, I can show you, like right here. It's got the rope where it's come apart again. There's at least one there. There's another one right here. Okay, that's one. It's just kind of hanging out on the side. Shouldn't be doing that way. Okay. And on the inside, if I'm not mistaken, this one's losing a lot of air. It's got a big old hole right over here. And this is the product tear aid. It's pretty decent for a temporary fix, but I tell you what, it's horrible when you got to replace it. But the big problem in this one is this guy right here. This is where the hole is, right on the seam. Because once again, just like that other ball had done, the seal around this rope piece is starting to break and it's creating a hole. And it's not anything you can do because eventually it just keeps pulling and pulling until it gives way. And so like this already needs to be replaced, this patch right here. But if you replace it, you're just weakening that hole right there. You're making it where it's going to stretch out further and further until it gets to the point like that first ball I showed you. And then also take a look at this one. Same thing as the other one. I've got a bunch of tiny little holes just all over the place. This is the tear aid. I talked to them about this tear aid. They suggested this is what I use. Okay. And what happens with this terrate is it's great for about a month, maybe 2 months at most, and then you end up having to replace it. And to be honest with you, I think that the best thing to use whenever you have to just continue to replace these things over and over again is the Gorilla Tape. So there's at least 10 or 15 holes in this one too. And sad thing about it is, you know, it wouldn't be that big of a deal if you could just replace it or repair the hole, patch it up, and be about your day. But the problem is that every single hole is something that you got to deal with at least once every month or 2 months. And so that is my problem with terrate. It is not a permanent fix, and it makes these things to where at some point you could be replacing anywhere up to 15 or 20 holes on each ball at a time, and then as they keep going it just turns into more. It's a lot more work than you'd ever really want to deem on anybody. Okay, now this particular one, this ball right here along the logo started splitting away at the seam. Got a patch right here. You can see you can see how it's kind of bubbling up right here, and you can just see where it just keeps coming loose, and it makes those little creases. Whenever I first put this patch on here, it was real smooth, and then after you deflate it and inflate it, and you see all the dirt and the grime around the terrate that it holds, and it's just getting to where it's kind of smushy, and eventually this thing's just going to start rubbing off on its own and leave you a real sticky mess to deal with. But right under this ball right here, there's a little hole right here that has managed to make way, and what do you know? Oh, it's right by one of these rope pieces again. So this is the last ball that I've started using since that first one went completely down. As you can see over there, it's gotten even flatter. Okay, so this is my experience with these hamster balls. I'll tell you what, they are a ton of fun whenever they are functional. Now the problem is that they failed to mention all the problems with these things. I also tell you they're going to send you a bag. This is what their idea of a bag is. Just a piece of tarp to wrap around it. If you go onto their website, it tells you that you get a 1-year warranty and a bag that comes with each one of these. And so you really get this flat tarp. It doesn't really close the ends up very well, and so it's not as protecting as what you would like for it to be, but you got to make do with what they give you, right? Okay, so here's my experience. These first 2 balls, this one right here and old daddy over there, these 2 are the very first ones that I used, and this is the first one that started having the ropes come apart. But prior to that, all those little holes on the inside, they started popping up. Oh, I think I found them back in January. And might I mind you, I got these things in October. First time I took them out of the bag was late October in 2016. About January 2016, these little holes started popping up. I emailed them. I said, hey, what's the warranty process on this? What do I need to do for this? And Ella is the lady that I talk to most of the time. She asked me, she said, hey, can you send me some pictures and a video? So I took some pictures, I took a video, I sent them to her. Well, I didn't hear back from Ella until I emailed her 2 more times. I emailed her about 2 weeks later when I didn't hear back from her. So we're talking about early February. And then the next time I emailed her back was about this guy right here. I said, hey, I'm having more issues with the balls beyond the little holes, because I found this terrate. I found Gorilla Tape is actually pretty good too. It's a lot easier to clean off when you got to replace it. But after finding these holes, these other things started happening with the ropes, and So I emailed her again sometime in late April, and I said, hey, I'm having worse issues. I haven't heard back from you about the holes either. And so she emails me back. I sent her a picture of the ropes dangling, and she tells me that it's no big deal. Just keep using them, okay? I was like, all right. And then she said you can use Terrate on those holes, which is what I was primarily already using. But I took it out to a gig just that next week after I kept using it. That monster hole is what it turned out to be. And basically I had to give my client some of their money back because this happened. As you can see, this video is only 10-11 minutes long right now, and it is almost completely down, completely unfunctional. Okay, this thing is just a hit or a miss. The more you use it, the more that hole that on the inside starts to increase. And you know, I wouldn't have too much of a problem with this Inflatable-Zone company, but my problem is that they left me in the dark for about 2 months whenever I asked them about their holes, and then they told me much later they couldn't see anything in my pictures, and my pictures were really obvious. Even whenever I open them up on a phone or a computer, both formats are pretty obvious. And then they tell me my video didn't work. And so I don't know what kind of software they're using over there in China, but apparently they are incapable of opening up a video that was made from an iPhone. I mean, I didn't know that was really that big of a deal, but apparently it is. So after I showed her how bad that ball messed up, she said, oh, we will send you 2 new replacement balls for the ones that have the ropes detaching. And I said, that's great. I need something better than Terrate, something that actually works. So I would appreciate having that too. And I said, when should I expect to see these? And they keep demanding these videos that they're not able to open. So I'm gonna go ahead and just make this one video and share it with the world, let you know my experience with these things. And once again, I tell you what, these things are a ton of fun. And Inflatable-Zone, they promised me 2 years of warranty on these guys, and within 6 or 7 months, I've had pretty massive issues with 3 out of 4 of them. And the 4th one, it's just sitting in there in the garage, and I don't even care to take it out of the package, because to be honest with you, I can't set these up for bookings anymore, because if I do, my problem is I don't know when I would receive a new one from these guys, and I don't know if they're going to back their warranty, because they have made promises that they will. But we're sitting in what, late July now. They told me they were going to ship those things in May, and I'm still sitting here screwed. So I'm just working on a dispute on the whole charge with these things. You know, I did buy a track. I bought 4 of these balls, and they sent me a blower, a couple little dinky blowers for the balls that take you about 45 minutes to air one of them up. And I tell you what, if you're thinking about buying these things, I would strongly consider reading some reviews deep. Make sure that they're real reviews, not just somebody trying to sell their product and writing reviews for themselves, and having their employees write reviews, because I find that that's looks to be like a pretty common thing on the reviews that I found on this place. And just want to warn you, I hope if you purchase from them that your experience goes a lot better than mine. And this is Jared signing off. My review on the hamster balls, or the Zorb balls, bought from Inflatable-Zone. Have a great day.